There are two types of women when it comes to eating on holiday. The first type tracks every meal obsessively. We're talking photographs, restaurant food, guesses portions, spends about 20 minutes on MyFitnessPal after every dinner, feels guilty about everything she can't account for, and then ends the holiday in a constant low-level state of stress about food. Second type decides, do you know what? It's a write-off. It's a holiday. Holiday means anything goes. Every meal, every drink, every buffet. No boundaries, no structure, no thought about what actually comes after. Full permission. And then when she lands home, steps on the scales, and the spiral begins, both of these women are suffering, just in different ways. And both of them are missing the same thing. Actually having a middle ground, a way to eat on holiday that doesn't require obsession or abandonment, that lets you enjoy every meal, every cocktail, every dessert, but without having guilt, and come back without having undone weeks worth of progress. That middle ground does actually exist, and it's actually not complicated. It's just that nobody's ever taught it to you because diet culture only ever gives you two options: strict or off the rails. So let's dive into that, shall we? Let me describe both women in more details. The tracker, let's call her Tracy. Tracy the tracker, she gets to the hotel and the first thing that she does is mentally catalogue the breakfast buffet. She photographs her meals, she spends time logging restaurant food she can't accurately measure, estimating, guessing, knowing the numbers are actually meaningless but needing something to hold on to. When she has a bigger meal than planned, she either skips breakfast the next morning to compensate, arriving at every subsequent meal either already starving, or she spends the rest of the day in a guilt spiral that takes the edge off everything. The sunset at dinner, the cocktail by the pool, the conversation she could be having. She comes home having technically stayed on track, but she didn't actually enjoy her holiday and she's exhausted. Whereas Wendy the write-off, she's decided before she even boards the plane that the week doesn't count. Everything goes off, and for the first couple of days it does feel liberating, but by day 4 the bloating has set in, her energy is off, and she's already doing the maths about how long it's actually going to take her to undo the damage. She comes home, steps on the scales, and the guilt that follows is heavier than anything that she ate on holiday. I had a client, let's call her Joan. Every holiday a write-off, every September a restart. I asked her what her approach to food on holiday looked like in practice, and she said, I just eat whatever because I've already decided it's a write-off. That one sentence told me everything. It wasn't the holiday that was the problem. It was the decision she had made before she'd even arrived, that there was no point in trying. And that decision was made because nobody had given her an alternative. By her next holiday, she had a third option. She came back having not undone her progress, not because she'd restricted, but because she had a framework. Why does obsession or the write-off pattern happen? Well, 3 reasons. First, diet culture never gave us a middle ground. You're either on a diet or you're off it. Tracking or not tracking. Being good or being bad. There's no language for flexible eating. So when a holiday removes your structure, you either recreate it obsessively or abandon it entirely. Nothing in between was ever modelled for you. Second, tracking dependency. Tracking is a tool, a useful one granted, but when it's the only tool you have, you actually lose the ability to eat without it. Every untracked meal becomes a threat. On holiday, where accurate numbers are impossible, that dependency creates anxiety. The goal of tracking should be to educate yourself, to teach you what food looks like, so eventually you don't need the numbers. If you've been tracking for 2 years and still can't eat a meal without logging it, then the tracking is working as a crutch, not as a teacher. And third, nobody has actually taught you what flexible eating looks like in practice. And I'm not talking about intuitive eating. That's useless. And so is everything in moderation. That's equally useless. You need specific practical principles, what to prioritise at each meal, how to manage your appetite, how to handle alcohol, how to make reasonable decisions at a buffet. These are learnable skills. The diet industry makes more money selling you the next plan than teaching you how to not need one. Here are the specific mistakes. Number 1, skipping breakfast to save calories for dinner. By dinner, you're going to be ravenous. Your blood sugar is unstable and your ability to make reasonable choices is gone. The saved calories become 3 times as many, plus alcohol, plus dessert, plus extra portions. So skipping breakfast is the fastest route to actually overeating every evening. So eat breakfast. Regulate your appetite from the start of the day. Mistake number 2 is treating every unplanned meal as a write-off signal. 1 cocktail at 3 p.m. doesn't ruin the day. The decision to write off the next 4 meals because you had 1 cocktail, that does. 1 unplanned thing is not permission to abandon everything. Have the thing, enjoy it, move on with your life. The next is stopping all movement. You're not going on holiday to train, I understand that, but there's a gap between training and not moving for 7 days. Walk to dinner, swim, explore on foot, 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day, which you'll hit just by being a tourist. It will keep your metabolism active and every food decision is easier. Mistake number 4, trying to accurately track restaurant food. It can't be done. Restaurant portions vary widely. The olive oil on your salad alone could be 200 calories, so stop trying to track it and apply principles instead. Principles work in any environment. Tracking only works when you're in control of the environment. Here's the framework that I teach. 5 principles, no tracking required. Principle number 1, protein at every meal. That's a non-negotiable. So eat eggs at breakfast, fish or chicken at lunch, and then whatever you want at dinner, providing obviously, you've got protein there. You don't need to weigh it, just make sure it's there. Protein keeps you full, it maintains your muscle, and it stabilises your blood sugar. This one habit changes how you eat for the rest of every day. Principle 2, eat breakfast every day without exception. Eat it with protein in it every day. That's a non-negotiable. It regulates your appetite, so every food decision that follows is made from control, not desperation. Number 3, move like a normal human being. Walk to the restaurant, swim, explore. You don't need a gym. Daily movements, even just steps, will keep your metabolism ticking, your digestion working, and your body feeling like itself. Principle number 4, the cocktail, the dessert, the local food, have it all without guilt and without spiralling. Remember, you are still on holiday, so enjoy it. Have the thing and then move on from the thing. The next meal is normal. The guilt after the dessert does more damage than the dessert itself. Break the spiral by refusing to give it permission to start. And number 5, after a heavy day, return to normal the next day. Not less, normal. Big dinner, lots of drink, heavy day, fine. Next morning, breakfast as normal, protein as normal, movement as normal. No restriction, just return to your baseline. One heavy day on a solid foundation does almost nothing. The spiral that follows it does everything. These 5 principles are what my clients apply on every holiday, and that's why they come back without losing their progress. Not because they were strict on themselves, but because they have a framework. So you now have a third option. Not obsessive tracking, not a full write-off, a framework that works in any holiday, in any restaurant without a food scale or a calorie tracker. The Summer Survival Guide has all of this and more in a practical, usable format. Pre-holiday prep, on-holiday principles, post-holiday protocol. You can DM me the word summer on Instagram and I'll send it to you for free. And if you're listening, thinking, I need more than just a guide, I might need somebody in my corner to help me build those foundations, then why don't you DM me directly? Tell me about your holiday. Tell me where you are right now, and we will figure out the right steps together. A summer where you can enjoy your holiday and come back on track is not a fantasy. It is entirely possible. You just need the right tools. So DM me the word summer on Instagram, or check the link in my bio and you can download your free summer survival guide for now. I hope you found this useful. If you did, then like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!